All right, welcome back to ABA exam review and the continuation of our RBT practice exam series where we're going through another set of questions together and breaking them down. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please subscribe. Check out btexamreview.com for all of our study materials, including our combo pack. When you pass your exam, please let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Work hard, study hard. Let's get going. You're ready for your post-lunch coffee, but when you go to prepare the coffee, you notice you have no coffee filters. You weren't planning on leaving the house to go to the store, but now you get in your car and head to Target to buy filters and a couple of other things. What is the motivating operation relative to going to the store? So we have a motivating operation question. And a motivating operation, in simple terms, makes you want something or makes you not want something. And typically, that's going to be because you don't have enough of something or you have too much of something. So in this case, what don't we have enough of? Well, we know we want coffee, but we have no coffee filters. So now we are deprived of these coffee filters. And since we're deprived of the coffee filters, what is their motivation to do? Well, there's motivation to go get more coffee filters. So why are we going to the store? What is motivating us to go to the store? Well, we need to go buy coffee filters. So what is the MO relative to going to the store? A, your post-lunch coffee. The post-lunch coffee is not the reason we're going to the store. If we had filters, we could make our coffee. It's not the reason we're going to the store. We need filters. That's what we're deprived of. So B, no coffee filters, is that motivating operation. What don't we have enough of? Coffee filters. C, needing other items. We just happen to go get other items, but that wasn't the catalyst or the driver of going to the store. It was the fact we had no coffee filters. And then the availability of Target. Well, for all we know, Target was always available. And that's the main difference between a motivating operation and a discriminative stimulus, or the SD. The SD just signals something is or isn't available. The motivating operation makes you want or not want that thing. All that's happened here is we were deprived of coffee filters and made us need those coffee filters, which motivated us to go to the store. So what is the motivating operation relative to going to the store? B, no coffee filters. People leaving grocery carts in the parking lot is a big problem for your local grocery store, as the carts sometimes damage vehicles. Anytime an employee of the store sees someone return a cart, they are told to offer them a $10 coupon for use on their next visit. What type of reinforcement schedule does this resemble? So we have a reinforcement schedule question, and you need to know the four basic ones: fixed ratios, fixed intervals, variable ratios, and variable intervals. Remember, ratios have to do with responses, where interval has to do with time. So let's start there. What do we know so far? We know people were leaving these grocery carts in the parking lot. Whenever an employee sees someone return a cart, they reinforce them with a $10 coupon. So anytime somebody engages in the response of returning a cart, they get a coupon, they get reinforced. So this looks like a continuous schedule of reinforcement. On a continuous schedule of reinforcement, every response is reinforced. That is what's occurring here. Every time the cart is returned, reinforcement is delivered. And so every time the cart is returned, reinforcement is delivered. That means one, the schedule is fixed because it's not changing. And two, it has to do with responses, which makes it a ratio schedule. So what type of reinforcement schedule does it resemble? Well, A, a fixed ratio schedule. It's not going to be B. It's not going to be an interval schedule because intervals have to do with time. We're not worried about time here. We're just worried about the response of returning the cart. C does have a ratio schedule, but it's variable. This is continuous, right? Every single response is reinforced. A continuous schedule is a fixed ratio schedule. And then D, a variable interval. Again, we're not concerned with the interval here. We're not concerned with the time. We're concerned with those responses. So what type of reinforcement schedule does this resemble? A fixed ratio schedule. A restaurant owner wants to encourage customers to recycle their waste after finishing their meals. To achieve this, they place large, colorful signs above the recycling bins with pictures showing which items belong in each bin. Over time, more customers began using the recycling bins correctly. What strategy is the restaurant owner using to guide customer behavior? So what do we know about the restaurant owner? What is he trying to accomplish? Well, he's trying to get customers to recycle waste. So he wants customers to recycle more once they're done eating. Now, typically, the recycling bins would signal recycling, but it's not working. So what the restaurant owner does is he places large signs above the recycling bins showing which items belong in each bin. So maybe plastic in one, paper in the other, etc. Now customers are beginning to use the bins correctly. So the owner is clearly prompting the customers somehow. Is he using a positional prompt? Is he changing the position of the bins? No. What he's doing is adding signs. He's adding these additional stimuli as prompts. He's visually prompting the customers. There's a sign of plastic bottles, where the plastic bottles go. There's a sign where the glass goes, where the paper goes. These are visual prompts he's using to encourage customers to engage in the correct response. The owner is not modeling, because if we're modeling, we're doing the behavior ourselves. And the owner's not actually showing the customers how recycling is done. He's just using these visual signs. And then positive reinforcement. There's no indication he's reinforcing the customers for recycling. So we don't know if he's using positive reinforcement or what he's using. All we know is he's prompting these customers. And he's prompting the customers using what we would consider visual prompts with the signs. The clinical director is tired of her employees always walking into her office and requesting raises or purchase requests. Now, when someone walks in the office, the clinical director points at her headphones, which leads to the person leaving her office. What is maintaining the director's behavior? So first, the key word is maintaining. When behavior is maintained or increased, we think reinforcement. When behavior is decreased, we think punishment or extinction. That's a dead giveaway one. This is a reinforcement question. The director's behavior is maintained. What do we know about the director? Well, she wants her employees to stop bugging her in her office. So when someone walks in the office, what does the clinical director do? She points at her headphones. What is the consequence? It leads to the person leaving her office. So the antecedent, someone walks in the office. The behavior, director points at phones. Consequence, person leaves. The clinical director has escaped the person and they've avoided the raise request or purchase request. So when we escape or avoid something, what is that tied to? A, positive reinforcement. Well, the consequence isn't adding anything. What is the consequence doing? Well, it's removing something, right? The consequence is the removal of the person or the removal of the threat of the request. So the director's behavior is being negatively reinforced. It's the removal of that person, the escape or the avoidance of the threat. The director's behavior is reinforced through negative reinforcement. We know it is in C and D because we know it's not punished. Behavior that is punished cannot be maintained or reinforced. Behavior that is punished is always decreased. A high school teacher wants a measurement system that will allow them to collect data without constantly needing to observe the student or students of interest. Which of the following systems would not meet this requirement? Pretty straightforward measurement question. We're looking for the measurement system that's going to meet the requirement that will allow the teacher to collect data without observation or constant observation of the student. Meaning the teacher wants data, they just don't want to observe continuously. That rules out a lot of possible options. A, can we use partial interval recording and not constantly observe the person of interest? No. Let's just say, for example, your interval is 15 seconds. You need to be there for 15 seconds each time to make sure that behavior does or does not occur. Partial interval recording does not allow you to not observe the person of interest during that interval session. What about B? Because we always read all of our answer choices. A play check or planned activity check. That is just like momentary time sampling, where we're not worried about what's happening for the interval, just at the very end of the interval. So play check and then time sampling, You don't have to observe the person the entire time because you're only worried about what's happening at the end of that interval. And then permanent product recording is the most obvious one because obviously we don't have to observe the behavior at all. Only what that behavior produces, only the product that the behavior leads to. So which system would not meet the requirement of not having to constantly observe the student or student of interest? That would be partial interval recording. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe on YouTube. Check out btexamreview.com for all of our study materials. When you pass, let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Work hard, study hard. See you soon.